Hey everyone. Sorry there's not going to be an episode this week. Just kind of wanted to give an update what's going on. Um, but basically, Friday, well, Thursday, my dad went into the hospital because he was throwing up green bile and wasn't feeling well. We thought it was like COVID and some other things going on. Well, when he got into the hospital and they did the tests and everything, come to find out, he had his blood went septic, and it caused him to have micro heart attacks, and then he had one minor heart attack at the hospital. Um, it's hard. um, we came up from Houston to my dad's and my sister's so we can be here to help out. But he trying to find the words to say, but he was. They were giving him antibiotics to help with um to cure with the infection. Hopefully, get rid of the sepsis. And then I talked to him that night, and we talked a little bit and everything. And I told him I'd give him a call in the morning. Ember had already gone home, so he was up there by himself. They were giving him a cough suppressant and some other stuff. Well, sometime during the night on Friday, like morning, sometimes during the night. Yeah, sometime around just before 4:22 in the morning, he coded blue, and they had to resuscitate him. They moved him to the ICU, and they called me about 4:22 in the morning, telling me that he had been moved to the ICU and because of a condition change. They wouldn't tell me enough information. So I said, okay, I got the room number. I'll give them a call in the morning to see if I can get more information. My sister called me Friday morning, letting me know that she already got some more details, found out about the coding. She was freaking out. They had intubated him. His vitals had dropped. They had to put a stent in to help. They had to sedate him because when they put the breathing tube in and everything, he was trying to pull it out. So my sister and I were freaking out. She was really, really freaking out, and I told her we're on our way. So we packed up and headed that way. I called my boss and let him know what was going on, and went ahead and just left to go. Very long drive from Houston to Dallas. Normally it's not that long of a drive, but there was accidents all up 45 up until we got into Huntsville, and then we got into like some more traffic just before we started going towards Fort Worth, and because that's where my sister's at, and she we were when we just before we got to the turn, there was an accident that happened like 3 cars behind us, pretty bad, and we just kept going because I needed to work on focus on my dad. He means the world to me and my sister. He gave us opportunities that we probably would have never gotten if my mom had gotten custody of us. My dad sacrificed everything to make sure we had what we needed to get by, and he was always there for us. He would get down and play with us, you know, sing with us and role play. if you've watched the channel, my podcast and stuff, and talking about things growing up with him and him being on the episodes, it's he means the world to us. My sister's not taking this well right now. I'm not taking this well, but I'm trying to be strong for her and my wife and our son and my sister's 2 kids. It's just been a roller coaster. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know that today, yesterday, as of Saturday, his numbers started to come up. They're not great, but they're still coming up. His oxygen level got to about how much oxygen they're pumping into him to help him breathe and everything to like 60% of the oxygen he's getting is through the breathing tube, and so the rest of it's from him. The sepsis, or his blood being septic and everything, has done a lot of damage, destroying his kidneys. We're hoping that once the antibiotics kicks in and everything, maybe they'll be able to function a little bit, but we don't know. But today they told us that how badly off they were. They weren't functioning at all, and so they had to start doing dialysis for him, which is going to be a whole other aspect of his change of life that we're going to have to kind of come to terms with, and he's going to have to come to terms with once if everything goes well. We're not sure what's going on. I know that, to give y'all some background, some of y'all may know, some of you may not. My dad, in 2019, December, close to Christmas time, he did a Facebook meetup. He was picking up, buying some shelves from a guy. When he got there, the dude was irate and beat the crap out of my dad. Broke his jaw, cracked a couple of his ribs, damaged his hand so bad on his right hand that he can't play video games anymore, which is hard because I grew up with him playing games all the time, and that's what got me to be a gamer, and him playing arcades, and it's been hard. So that's why I try to do live streams on the channel for him and I just call him and we'll just talk so he can watch what I'm doing, because I'll play the games that he wants to play. He did a lot more damage, but he broke it with the jaw. He broke it in like 3 places. As my dad being diabetic and having other issues, this didn't help. But his infection got so bad at one point during that process that they had to take him to the hospital. He had to go on many different types of antibiotics to kill the infection, and he went on like one of the strongest antibiotics that kills your immune system, if I remember correctly. I don't remember what it was called, and it messed him up quite a bit. But he was on the mend and recovering. He's still not 100%, but he was managing, and we're just afraid that the infection came back, and this may have been the reason why his blood went septic, and we just didn't know. Just been trying to keep it from the grandkids, because we don't know how my son Edward and my niece Alice are going to take everything. They're worried about him, but they don't know how bad off he is right now. And then my nephew Logan, he is, he's dealing with it. He knows, and it's hitting him hard. It's hitting the whole family hard. I decided to do this because it's just easier for me to kind of voice what's going on versus having to type it out to, our family and everything, and they can just kind of go watch and stuff. And but he's today, he was a little responsive. when my sister went to go see him earlier, he was coherent. He had his eyes open, and you could see he was, reacting to what's going on. He was very responsive, but still, he can't talk because he's got all the tubes and everything in his mouth. But we're hoping that everything's going to go good. We just don't know. I'm going to have to. There's a lot of things we're going to have to do. I just don't know if I'll be able to do a whole lot with the podcast. That's why I was kind of throwing this out here. Because it's. My dad is a big part of us. And, having the thought of him going has been on our minds constantly because we just don't know. Even though he's showing signs of, recovery, he's not anywhere being able to come out, and then, but it just doesn't look good. We just don't know. Things are pointing in the direction to be good, but we can't be like 100% sure. So, me and my wife Anna are going to be going through to making sure that his bills are paid and taking care of things here for him, and then just trying to do rotation. I'm going to see what I can do, maybe working remote for a couple of days from my job, and maybe take the first couple of days off this coming week, and then work remotely for the rest of it. It's just hard, the thought of losing your dad and him being such a pillar in your life. I know it's just rocking my sister right now. The thought of him going, him not being here, is the most scariest thing. I mean, we just went through the process of losing our grandmother back in June. There was a lot of needless drama, and I don't want to get into that, but he's always told us to, plan for the worst and hope for the best, and I want him here to be able to see my son graduate. I want him here to see my niece graduate. I want him to be here longer. And I gotta be strong for them. It hurts. Sorry, I don't mean to. Try not to break down right now. But for my friends and family, prayers, positive energy, whatever y'all do, it's all positive to try to help him get through this. Thanks for taking the time to look at this video. I mean, hopefully. But I'm going to be sharing it with my friends and family so they know. But just an update too, because I want to say this before I close out the video. The dialysis worked a little bit to help him. That was why he was a little bit more responsive and a little more up. We're just waiting to see that his vitals go up more. But this is going to be one of those life-changing events that we're going to have to make changes for him. Because if he's going to have dialysis, 3 times a week, or, he's got to get closer. He's too far away from me, definitely. It's like 5.5 hours to get out here, depending on traffic and everything, versus like my sister, who is about an hour away. But still, he just can't do this on his own. He can't be up by himself, and we gotta make changes to for him to have a better quality of life. As long as everything goes well, and I'm hoping that's all I can do. But thanks for taking the time to watch. Just keep them in your prayers and positive energies or whatever you do. Thanks for listening. I love you guys.